an early stage architectural ideation platform. We're hosting more than 25 AI models all in one place. And maybe just to begin, I'll give a little bit of introduction of how I got to building where we are, what we have built today. So I come from industry. I worked for many years at Foster & Partners in the UK. I'm an architect by training, and I do also come with a lot of technical experience. So I've taught many courses at Harvard and Northeastern, at Wentworth, in the Boston area, in courses on AI and architecture. Part of what brought me here is a lot of the consultancy work, which I've done for architecture practices, in addressing how to really onboard all of this noise, all of these tools in their practices. So learning how from technical approaches, onboarding, training, and so on. And so it is a real pain point to understand what tools to use. There's so many AI models out there. There's tracking from a creative process, knowing how to keep control within this creative journey can always be a challenge. From an admin perspective, subscriptions, administrating, knowing what to give architects, knowing how to navigate all of these end user agreements or terms and conditions can be a challenge. So even pre-AI, there was a lot of fragmentation in our workflows. You add AI to the picture and things get a lot messier. And so our idea is not to replace any of the existing tools. It's to centralize and connect all of these into an integrated workflow. Data security for us is a big priority. So unlike other platforms like Midjourney, for example, they retrain your data for those image generation processes. Our idea is to keep your data secure for the models we have control over. Collaboration at the heart of what we offer. We offer infinite canvases, boards, collaborative opportunities to share with clients, to share boards internally, and to really map out that creative workflow, which I'll describe in just a second. And so we can really start accelerating and working with AI, but keep control. And so that's a big, an essential item in how we are building the tool, of always keeping the architect at the center of this design process. Keep that agency with the architect. Today already, we're hosting 25 of the best image, upscaler, video, and 3D model, generative AI models. So this includes things like all the fun Flux models, Ideogram models, all the stability AI models, OpenAI. A really great one we've been having a lot of fun with is one called Flux Context Max and Pro. From the video perspective, we have the latest VO2, the VO3 models. From the upscalers, the industry standard is often leans towards Magnific, which we're hosting on platform. And then a new interesting opportunity, I would say this year has been very much the year of video and the year of AI agents, where we're going to see in the next few months how 3D is really going to evolve. We'll start training models, be able to work with surfaces in a much more controlled way. So to date, we have 5 of those models all in platform. We are built by architects for architects, which is a big differentiator for us for our product roadmap. And so we have Speckle integration already for different platforms, and we're building out a Rhino plugin in this coming month. And so some workflows, just to give a brief glimpse of some things we've been cooking up. Some text-to-image workflows, image-to-image, which is a great use case for architects, converting sketches, relighting a scene, adding people, or converting these then into the next one, which is video, upscaling, inpainting, like what you would do in Photoshop with masks, or even training your own data sets on platform, which is something you can also download and bring off platform or bring on platform if you've trained it somewhere else. Image to 3D model, you can start generating, now they're meshes, but you can start generating really interesting objects, interior scenes, or even buildings to some extent. So some workflows that we're covering, for example, a typical workflow might be, starting with a sketch, converting that sketch into image, inpainting that scene, changing, prompting, iterating, converting that into a higher res render. That render can be taken, applied to a multi-view process you can see right here in the middle, and then converted into a 3D editable geometry. That geometry, you could then go back and reverse it. Maybe that hyper-realistic, which seems to be that trend today, might not be the appropriate thing for a client-facing presentation. Convert that image into a sketch, into a watercolor. We have so many different styles, and then maybe make a visual or render sequence out of that. Data security is a priority for us. We don't retrain your data, and I'll give a brief glimpse. I'll go live on this demo, and we're essentially a node-based system. So just a brief glimpse into what we've been creating. Essentially, it's intended in the similar fashion as one might conceive a Miro board. So you have boards which you can share with teams, you can share with other companies, and we've been onboarding several in the last few months. You can preview all of your past projects or even train your own LoRA models. And so the training process is hello world, is simply adding adding from 20 to 50 images, and then you have a style which you can use to essentially generate new images. So just to go, for example, just reload. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Live demo. Let's go into here. So this is, let's say, a full or extended workflow just to see each step of that process. You might consider each of these individual nodes as a platform in itself. And you can see ideating with images, editing elements, changing atmospheres, adding or removing people. And so you can, for example, do prompt a single image and then generate. Add, for example, a pool, add different elements, add or remove people, relight your scene, or even do things like have a person, give the person pants. This is a conversation from yesterday, or even change the heels into sneakers and change the view, and then bring that into an image and then complete that cycle of generating a final image and possibly animate it into a video. I think my internet's acting up a bit slow, or even converting that to, this is not the best example, there's much higher resolution examples of this, but converting that single image into a 3D model. And so I'll just give another glimpse of what you can do, for example, in creating, let's call it aec+tech. You can create a project, and essentially now we're essentially building a toolkit for you to be able to create your own workflow, to then make boards to present these to clients or present these internally. And you could choose, for example, I want an intro workflow. I want to just get started now. You can use nodes, for example, like a text-to-text node you might see here. A Norwegian cabin becomes a more extensive prompt that can be longer or shorter. You can then connect that text node into an image node, for example, and then generate. And then, oh, I'll just connect right here. Or let me give a better example. Text to image node, and let's say or region house. The idea here is to essentially create that full workflow. And so you can essentially generate an image, connect it to the next step, maybe not the best prompt, and then iterate and change. So relight this image night. Scene. You can relight images. You can then upscale those images. You can then convert those into videos. The creative possibilities. The idea here is to really give you guys that full control. Okay, really took the night scene very literally here. Maybe this is a better example. Converting that, oh, it's taking, let me just, right here, sorry. converting that daytime scene, prompting it to say a night scene with a Milky Way visible, maybe something a bit excessive, but you can have that before and after. Download these, download 3D models, create your own workflow, view your history, edit, share, collaborate. So our product roadmap is very much leaning into the 3D space. We have a lot of feedback, a lot of new opportunities. There are new workflows that have been coming out with what we've been building. So I'm curious to see what you all make. Thanks so much.
Amazing. Thanks so much. It was very exciting and so much potential. I loved it. And thanks for the demo and showing us and walking us through the product. So can you also import an already existing image? I'm sure you can, right? Like
Yeah.
a rendering or a building. You can import that and you can make edits to what you currently have and you use that space as a rendering tool. So
Yes.
basically you are helping users generate these like views, but not just that, they can also import what they already have and then take it
Yes.
from there, right? Make different design iterations or
Yeah. So there's the idea is to really go full circle to give architects, you can drag and drop your Rhino viewport, your Arctic view, your Revit screenshots, or your Enscape view, and then upscale that, prompt it to generate new images, or bring in things, for example, like a style. Do I want to convert that into a watercolor? Do I want to make it even higher res? Do I want to upscale people? Do I want to remove people? And
mm,
that's, each model has that potential of giving you benefits in different ways. So it's a
got it.
full versatility. Yeah.
And the image has to be like a JPEG, right? Or a PNG, or it can't be a model.
The two options we have already are bringing in, importing an image, or drag and dropping it onto that canvas, or through a Speckle integration. So if it's maybe a more advanced workflow, but those comfortable with Speckle, you essentially click a button, you import your Speckle model, you choose your viewport, and then you connect the next node and do image to image, image to render. So that viewport to a rendered scene.
Got it. Wonderful. Okay, great. Amazing. Thanks for sharing. Okay,
Thank you.
next we have Aldram with Blueprints AI.